another Thursday night, the CarrGuy and SixFan show. I am, of course, half of the equation. I am SixFan or straight SixFan. So then the guy, let's see, oh, wrong way. This guy over here is.
My name, that confuses me every time because I'm on the wrong side here. Anyways, my name is Jason. I am Old Car Auto Guy, and I am the CarrGuy half of the CarrGuy and SixFan show. Welcome to our Thursday night, and I'm glad to have everybody here as part of what we do to help entertain you guys and help you grow your channels and get to know a little bit more about us.
Well, Rennie LePage, well, first off, welcome a bunch of people. But Rennie LePage mentioned no video. Hopefully that was just a little lag after we just hit start. So guys, let us know if you are or aren't seeing us. But did want to also give us a couple of shout outs to some people who we are seeing for the first time in here. So Steve Shed, as well as there was one other a little further up.
Boosted Lucille.
There you go, Boosted Lucille. Welcome to the show. So you know, a little bit, since we do have some newcomers, I just wanted to give you guys sort of a brief, and we'll run through who's all here tonight. But what Jason and I are trying to do here is have a CarrGuy hangout. I apologize, my wife just turned the TV on, so I'm getting my thoughts are a little loose, but so just a place for car guys to hang out, the people in our niche. It's kind of, we like to talk cars and we like to talk YouTube help and all that kind of stuff. So Jason, I should probably just turn it over to you at the moment because I'm a little bit frazzled.
Yeah, no worries. So part of what we do is we want to help other YouTube channels who are like us, small YouTubers, grow our channels. So we do talk a little bit about some of the things that have worked for us and some of the things that don't work for us. And in the meantime, we want you guys in the chat to be checking each other's channels out, because everybody that's here, as a rule, is a car guy as well as a YouTuber. So we're all trying to help grow our channels. If you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to myself or Grant, please do so after this thing goes live, because we want to make sure that everybody has the same opportunities to grow, and we're all trying to hit certain milestones. So for those of you who are new to what we are doing, back at the beginning of September, Grant challenged me to see if we could grow our channel base by 100 subscribers in the month of September. Grant, I forget who came out ahead on that one. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, it's funny. I just flat out forgot as well.
Anyways, I believe Canada prevailed on that one, and for the record, Grant, you're getting a little bit of feedback through your microphone once again. Anyways, so we are going to take a quick browse through the chat here to see who has joined us, and we want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their Thursday evening. So Trucker Dave from Maine is here. Steve's Shed, welcome, Steve. I think this is the first time we've seen you on the channel here. We've got Terry Eford Garage. We've also got Sam's Garage. We've got Boosted Lucille, which I think is the first time I've seen that name here before. Welcome to the channel. Kip from America Bumper to Bumper. Dirty Garage Mods is here, as well as Rennie LePage. Corey from Craven Cars. And who else? Did I miss anybody? Oh, we got 4 AM Caper. Sean is here from the big island of Cape Breton. Welcome, guys. We're going to jump right into our little agenda that we have, because we do try and keep things on a little bit of a tight ship. This is only a half-hour show. So, Grant, why don't you start off with your topic for this evening?
Yeah, so, and I apologize for the microphone struggles. I don't know why. I try to use a headset versus my webcam because it's a little better audio, but for whatever reason, that's not wanting to work tonight. But anyway, so this was one I thought of as a fallback topic that we could always do, kind of go decade by decade and try to pick, like, what would your dream car build be? And tonight's decade is the 1940s, because I figure the 1930s has pretty mainstream stuff. And I always thought that the era of the war, you know, World War II, you know, the automotive industry, because everybody's efforts were towards building airplanes and things for the government, pumping them out, that the car industry kind of like not too many designs were released. So I think the 40s is an interesting decade. So I thought it'd be an interesting topic to kind of lob out there. If you could build anything from the 1940s, Jason, what would it be? I'll give you a little time to think. In the meantime, for me, I think I would build. I've always wanted to build like a late 40s, like a 46, 7, 8 international KB5, and turn it into like a rat rod truck. So for me, that's kind of my dream build. I would probably want to do out of the 40s. Jason, what do you got?
I think we're on the same page as we usually are with a lot of things. I do like the I do like the 40s trucks, and especially the Chevs. And one of the big things I liked about the Chevs is the huge chrome grills that they had. Now, I went earlier and I tried to find a picture of this so I could share with you guys, and I got it on my phone. So if you look at the size of that grill, back when grills were grills, and that was kind of the how you determined what a vehicle was, what the year was. And as far as rat rod, well, I do like a rat rod, but that particular truck right there turns my crank. So I think just no matter how you look at it, a good old fashioned chrome truck with a fancy paint job and some custom wheels, I'd be happy with it being a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder and a manual transmission. I love the looks of that. So that would be my choice, the 42 Chev pickup.
Yeah, and in the comments, Eford Garage says Hudson Hornet. That's a great choice. But looks like the Ford F1 is kind of a popular one between Trucker Dave and American Bumper to Bumper, 4N Caper, 48 Ford Coupe, or even a Mercury. And yeah, it's hard to pass up. If you get your hands on a 49 Merc, of course, that's kind of. But if you've been watching us for a long time, Jason and I are a little off the beaten path and don't like having what everybody else has. So 49 Merc, obviously you got to respect it. Great card, great platform, but not for us. So Steve Shed's saying kind of a Willys. Yeah, Willys make great platforms too.
Yeah, they were popular on the drag strip. Those on the drag strip. Sorry, the 40 Willys coupes and stuff like that. So.
Well, and with that, so yeah, go ahead and guys leave your comments as well in the chat. We'll try to add that as part of the conversation. But so we always start with a little car news, but then or just kind of hot rod talk. But then we always talk about how can we help grow your channels as well as ours. And so that's usually the co-host duty. So Jason, what do you got this week for your little tip or trick?
Well, one thing that we had mentioned before as a tip or trick back in season 1 was using social media to your advantage. And one of the things that I kind of want to specify this week is between Instagram and Twitter is making use or better use of your hashtags. If you don't know what hashtags are, look it up, find out what they are, find out what the purpose is of them. Because one of the things I've been learning since I bought this 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis is that using hashtags such as Panther Platform, such as Mercury Grand Marquis, helps get your name out there to a group of people who follow those same hashtags. And when they see you, they'll join you. Ever since I started using hashtags on the Panther platform, is people have been coming to my Instagram and following me there. In fact, I am ever so close to reaching 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I attribute a lot of that to making special use of hashtags. So don't just use social media to post when you've got a new video going up. Use it to give behind the scenes, and like if you're doing a video on a 5 lug swap on your Ford Fairmont, showing some of the behind the scenes of what's going on that may or may not make it into your video, but almost as a teaser is a great way to help people get in and get involved in what you're doing. So making proper use of those hashtags is also a great idea to learn how to use. So you're doing a 5 lug on a Fairmont, hashtag Ford Fairmont, hashtag Fox Body, hashtag whatever you want to use. And just make sure that when people are looking for that, it's something they're going to want to use. Instagram is great because it will tell you how many people are looking and following that particular hashtag. Grant, what do you think?
Yeah, well, and I'll take that a step further because sometimes even if someone maybe found your post through a hashtag, but that isn't an Instagram subscriber, which by the way, I looked at my account while you were talking. 340, so to almost be at 1,000 is pretty impressive. But oftentimes you'll get people that will like your posts that aren't your followers because they're following the hashtag. But Instagram will tell you who that is, so you can scroll down through that list, and if you see someone who's not following you, a little tip I've learned is reach out to that person via direct message and say, hey, I saw you liked my post, and if you didn't know, I've got a YouTube channel about this stuff. And then sometimes you can get an extra YouTube subscriber or two out of that, because those people may, some people don't read. You might be shocked, but they like looking at just the picture, so they may have missed that. They might not even know that you're a YouTube creator. And so anyway, I kind of wanted to piggyback on that, and I thought that was a pretty good tip.
Yeah, and that's all about maximizing your use of social media. Like I said before, Steve Shed mentioned something about Facebook page. I've got a Facebook page as well as Instagram, Twitter. I don't use Twitter for its intended purpose. I just kind of piggyback Twitter onto Instagram. When I share on Instagram, it goes to Facebook and Twitter all at once, so it's one less post I got to do. But you're going to find different people use different social medias. You want to maximize each one. That's going to help you get to where you want to be, and your end goal would be, subscribers and faithful subscribers, people who want to see and want to learn, want to watch what you have to offer. So, just looking through some of the comments as well. Classic Ride Society has joined in, as well as Dorito the Lucha Cabra. I think he changed his name. I don't think it always used to be Dorito. Anyways, welcome, guys. Thank you for jumping in here and joining us on this Thursday evening.
Yeah, and I think the social media thing is one that you kind of constantly have to keep up on too, because like they're saying, TikTok's going to be the next big thing. I'm always slow to change and to adapt, because I'm a less is more guy. I hate cluttering up my phone with a ton of apps. No, I'm not going to use it. But if you really want to win in this world, you've got to kind of gotta adapt. And so I'll agree with you though too, Jason, that Twitter's a weird one for the YouTube community, because when I did sports podcasting, it was fantastic. So it was a great support for that. But I don't know why, but it's just for the car niche, it's not I struggle to gain any traction over there. But it makes sense to me though, because if you think a picture is worth 1,000 words, I think a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So Instagram's the perfect platform to be like the derivative out of YouTube, with the pictures, kind of like you're saying, to provide teasers. I almost said tweezers, but teasers.
Exactly. And you look at other forms, TikTok, like you said, is becoming a new thing. I mean, I haven't even gotten onto the whole Snapchat thing. I have an account, but I mean, like, to me, Snapchat seems to be more of maybe a direct communication, correct me if I'm wrong, between people or groups. Anyways, I haven't caught on to it. My son uses it and gets mad at me if I don't text him using it. I don't know. Kids, millennials, I don't know. Not my thing. Anyways, so that's basically, you guys get the idea. You understand what we're talking about when it comes to using and maximizing social media. Because if all you're ever doing is just simply YouTube, you're cornering yourself into a very, very small market. Look at your subscriber base, then look at your follower base. And like I said, I think I'm at 1,766 subscribers on YouTube. I'm getting close to 1,000 on my Instagram, Twitter. I don't think anybody follows me on Twitter. Anyways, Grant does. That's all that matters. So it's all part of the growth process, and the more areas you can get your name out, the more growth you're going to have.
Yeah. So Steve Shed also kind of is adding to that he posts at a regular frequency to the social media, and we all know how important regularity is for YouTube, but also delicious. That sounds so good. Jason, that's okay. But no, that's a good pointer as well. Even if people know they can expect an Instagram post from you at a certain time, before they head off to work or whatever, that seems to help. One of the other things we like to do here, so after we talk a little will help, and I know some of you guys who've probably watched almost all of our episodes, you're like, dude, I get it now. But we have to always keep in mind that we've got new people showing up. So I know it probably feels a little bit like a broken record that we're constantly reminding you how our format works. But when we used to highlight a channel that one of us follows, we kind of, for season 2, kind of whittled that down, or kind of loosened up the rules there, and it just is what we try to do is just point out just something cool happening, some cool builds, it could be a cool channel, whatever. It's really just up to the host. And so I'm kind of cheating this week. I'm kind of almost double dipping with like the automotive talk. But there was this article that kept coming across my suggested stories on my phone, which was from carbuzz.com. And it was an article called 5 Reasons Why the 2020 EcoBoost Mustang is Better Than the V8 Mustang. Now, they weren't talking about like a GT350 or anything, but okay, so I love our EcoBoost Mustang. I'm a proud owner of a 2015 EcoBoost Mustang, but I read this headline, like, even I cocked the eyebrow, like, okay, like, let's see what this, long story short, I disagree with a lot of the article, but I thought I would throw it out because I thought it'd be good fodder for tonight's chat. So reason number 1 was cost. Yes, I might agree with that. I like cheaper is better, but just because it's cheaper doesn't make it better than the V8 Mustang. It just means it's more accessible to more people. So I do like that. I mean, at 300 horsepower, of course, they're talking about the 2020 that has 320 horsepower now. Yes, it's a very affordable rear-wheel drive, high horsepower car, but I don't know that necessarily makes it better than V8. Number 2, fuel efficiency. Okay, that one I think, yeah, I'll agree. It's cool to have that much power and that much MPGs, but the V8's still cooler. And then their number 3 was the high performance package rocks. I didn't really read that paragraph. It was like, okay, that's lame. You guys are really reaching here. Number 4, it feels more. Yes, this is true. Number 4, it feels more noble. So I could buy into this one. They do say that the V6 and the 4-cylinder cars from the S550 generation are more balanced. They're not as nose heavy as a V8. So if you really are into like the FCCA
crowd killing
kind of stuff,
or whatever. No, sorry.
Yeah. Well, then that wouldn't be for you because it's more nimble.
No, that's right.
Dodge more
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
So,
if you're into crowd killing, then the 4-cylinder is definitely not for you.
Yeah. And then their number 5 was, it sounds ... interesting. I was like, okay, that's not even a worthwhile. You couldn't come up with actually 5 things. You were really reaching at all of these. A 4-cylinder with an exhaust will never sound, well, not even interesting in my opinion, but it will never sound better than a V8. So I just thought this was a garbage article, and I just wanted to share that.
Well, it's funny because when I read through the Google Docs, I'm reading that, I'm thinking, like, those excuses simply are hard pressed to make a point and push a point across that they're better. Somebody was really reaching, and I would have to agree with you there. And I think some of the guys in the chat are feeling the same way. We did have somebody jump in there right new. I want to acknowledge Victor has jumped in, who says he's coming to us from Galveston, Indiana. So Victor, welcome to the show. We've also got Rough Rods Restos has jumped in here as well and joined the team. Twisted R Racing, Stacy, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah,
and I think we managed to keep up with everybody as they're jumping in here. And guys, this is the point in the show where we would encourage you to ask us some questions. We will try and get to them all before we go off air, but ask us a few questions and see if there's something that you don't know that you want to know about us. Also, a reminder, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, please do that now. Don't forget, this is Grant's hosting show this week. Super Chat is always available and much appreciated, as well as don't forget to share this out to all your friends. So as we kind of move on to some of the things that we like to talk about on the show, is our channel updates and some of the things that are coming up in future episodes. So Grant, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got on the go with your channel?
Yeah, so the goal this week, and I think I mentioned it in the last video, maybe I didn't, but I just have one brake line to bend up, custom bend up to get from. So the old Fairmont 7.5 axle dropped on the passenger side, and the Mark 7 picks up right at the pumpkin. So I need a custom bend a line to get over kind of to the drive shaft hump area to connect those two. Once I do that, I can finally take the dang car off the jack stands. It doesn't mean it's going to run, but my goal this week is to do some tire test fitting, tighten up some bolts on the rear links, and maybe get into the master cylinder, replacing the master cylinder, but definitely get it off the jack stands. Jason, you?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I must admit, it's sitting there watching you do this 5 lug swap and the swapping out the diff and all this stuff. It really gets you excited. I mean, of course, for us here in the Northeast, we're getting on some colder weather. The snow will be flying here another month or so, and it'll be time to put those cars away for the season. But you guys down there, I think you have a little bit longer season than we do, and I know that you're getting anxious to get that debt back on the ground and getting to drive it again.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I never thought it would take as long as it's taken. It's been like a 4 month. I think we'll be going on 5 months. So yeah, I just want to drive it. I'm going to actually put off doing the head swap for that reason, because I just want to drive the thing again. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So as I get in, just keep an eye on the chat, because there are a couple of questions in there which we'll get to as soon as we talk about channel updates. I'm going to answer one of those questions that Trucker Dave has asked about the destruction of bubbles, and yes, it is coming soon. For those of you who are new to my channel and what I do, is one of the projects I had this time last year was a 2009 Kia Sportage. It was just a front-wheel drive manual transmission, just a bare bones vehicle. Didn't even have air conditioning. I took that, I made it a project vehicle. I lifted it 2 inches. I put wheel spacers and 31-inch tires on this thing, and drove it for the winter until the inspection ran out. It won't pass inspection. It's rotten pretty bad, and I'm going to blow it up, literally, with tannerite once I reach 2,000 subscribers. So my channel update is I'm getting bubbles ready for the trip out of town to get it blown up. So we've got to get some damage that has been caused in a recent video. If you haven't caught that, I accidentally hit a parked car and buckled the front suspension sideways, and so I got to get that fixed up so we can at least get it on a trailer, haul it out to the site, and get that thing blown up. The video itself won't be released until I hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. So that's where you guys come into play, is helping me get to 2,000 subscribers so we can blow up bubbles and get that video released for you guys to watch. So that's what's coming up in the near future. On Saturday's video, guys, you're not going to want to miss it. I got a very special upload regarding a 1968 Ford Custom. So you're going to want to tune into Saturday's video to see that.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to the comment Jason made earlier about the following on social media, because if you follow him on Instagram, he kind of gave some teasers of that away, I believe, anyway, or maybe that was through text messages. But
nope.
Okay.
I was sharing some of those videos as well.
I know earlier in the chat, Stacy of Twisted R Racing had asked, when will we see the Rat Rod radio flyer again? Yeah, I got to get the once the Fairmont drives again, I've got a backlog of a couple of things. I don't know how long I will not work on the Fairmont, but I need to do my 1,000 subscriber giveaway that I promised I would do 200 some subscribers ago. So that involves some TIG welding and things like that. So I got to do that. My video from the Welder Up tour, I did get written permission from Welder Up to be able to monetize my video. So that's going to be something that it's kind of evergreen content. I can post that up, 3 months from now. It's not really like time sensitive. So that's always a fallback. And so I might maybe do some Rat Rod Radio Flyer stuff in that downtime too. I don't know. But what I think I figured out on that was it would stall out, and it's because my header is so dang close to my gas tank. I think it was causing vapor lock. It was heating the tank up so much that it would heat up the gas, and then it would stall out because it runs like a champ. You know, actually off of the cold, after you warm it up just a little bit off the cold start, I can get probably, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of good use out of it, and then it just keeps cutting out. So anyway, I hope that answers your question, Stacy.
And I did see Will R in the chat there a little bit ago. And Will, thanks for jumping in here. And I know that Will has been a huge supporter of my channel. I don't know about you, Grant, but he's always commenting. I haven't seen him around lately in my last few videos, but he's always there. He's always making a comment. He's always, pushing for the success of our channel. So, Will, thanks so much for showing up tonight and being a part of the live stream. We've also got somebody new in there, Mustang Guy 6501. Welcome to the CarrGuy and SixFan show. And as we keep our eye on the chat here to see if there's any other questions before we get ready to kind of wind things down a bit, but I'll take a look through there if you want to carry on. Grant.
Yeah, well, I know Kip sort of took care of one of those questions for me. And yeah, I have a 1978 Ford Fairmont boosted Lucille. So if you are interested and want to check out, I've got a big long playlist of a bunch of things. I've picked up this car. I call it Project Low Fairmont. Low fare, like low fares flying. It's a budget build. So it's taken me longer than I thought it would. Even the whole I thought this was going to be for sure a 365-day project for me, but hashtag life, hashtag other things. But since we have so many people in the chat, so many new faces, we say it all the time, but if you see anybody's channel that you don't recognize, at least hit those 3 dots here tonight in the chat. Check out their channel at least during this time. You can make the decision for yourself whether you think that other channel's worth your follow or whatever, but just give them this is what this is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be exposure to car guys in the car guy niche. You know, it's hard to build a subscriber base, and so we figure if we bring all the car guys together in one spot, there's a good chance that a lot of us are going to like the content of a lot of these different channels that we're seeing. So I'm going to have to write down some names for myself here in the meantime for some of these new names that I'm seeing. They go check them out after the live stream. But we're getting fairly close to the end. So guys, get your questions in, and we'll try to answer 1 or 2 more. But Jason, did you want to add anything to kind of the spiel on getting subscribers?
Yeah, so basically said it before, we don't classify ourselves necessarily as a true to form subscriber support channel, but we want to support each other's of the same niche. There's lots of streams out there who you can go and you can follow and gain subscribers like that. That's all well and good if those subscribers are going to be faithful subscribers and loyal to you and follow your channel. Car guys generally tend to follow car guys, and that's kind of one of the reasons why Grant and I decided we wanted to do this show, was to help grow our channels to get ourselves to the 1,000 subscriber goal, which we did through the help of you guys, and we want to carry on. That's one of the reasons why we decided to carry on the CarrGuy and SixFan show, was to help you guys get there too. Steve Shed had asked, he didn't want to steal anyone's thunder, but can we also share what our main builds are on the channel? And yeah, help yourself. And that's what the chat's for, is for you guys to talk back and forth and let everybody know what you got. Because if there's somebody that might share a similar type of vehicle with you, you might definitely gain a subscriber. So, I've got a couple of project vehicles on the go. So obviously I told you about Project Bubbles, which we're going to blow up. I've also got a 79 Chrysler Cordoba that I'm doing a little bit of work on, trying to build the horsepower on that, as well as I've got a new daily, which is a 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis that I've been doing some subtle work to, which eventually we're going to do some power adders to as well. So, Grant, I've covered quite a bit on there as well. So if there's any last remarks that you have.
Yeah, basically all I was going to say, oh, cool. Steve Shed says he's got a 65 Coronet 500. So Steve, if you're not already following Finelli Restorations 66, he goes by a little different screen name on Instagram than YouTube. Frank Finelli, he's got a Coronet. I think you'd enjoy his channel if you aren't already following him. Of course, seems to be a lot of Mopar guys out there that do kind of similar things. Dylan a Cool, Uncle Tony's Garage, Nick's Garage. Frank Finelli, people like that. But I guess the only thing I was going to close down saying was just because we have so many new faces, the way this works, the CarrGuy and SixFan show, because it is a cooperative, we bounce back every other week as to who hosts it. So I was the host this week, straight SixFan, but Jason, old car auto guy, he hosts next week. So with that, the co-host always gets to close out the episode opposite of the host. So Jason, take it away.
Yep. Before I do that, I'm going to answer one last quick question where Rough Rods Restos has asked me any future mods to my Cordoba. All I can say is stay tuned. Guys, want to thank everyone for taking the time out this Thursday evening for joining the channel. Grant, thank you for having me on as part of your show tonight. Next week, it'll be the other way around. We'll do it all over again. Guys, stay focused on the windshield, not the rearview mirror. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.